And, Your Royal Majesty, as we come towards the end of this interview, I want to say this, that can you tell us what's your philosophy of life? Your philosophy, because you are like a mystery to a lot of people. You know, some people feel a king such as King Duku is everywhere, is on social media. Why should some also believe that a king, royalty, should not have any business to do with social media? But you are there on social media, you have a lot of young people who see you as a mentor, believe so much in you, and a whole lot of people, you know, love you so much. So many things just happening around you. So it's like a big mystery to people. So a lot of people really want to know, what's your philosophy of life? Just in a few words.
I think it's just simplicity. Simplicity. And the non-edification of humanity. Somebody told me, are you not, is your presence in the social media not too much? He said, remove yourself. I said, no, I can't remove myself. I said, possibly one of my mission on earth, on this throne, is to demystify kingship.
To demystify?
Kingship.
Wow.
That the king is there because there are subjects. If there are no subjects, there will be no king. Wow. And so if you hide yourself in a cocoon in your palace, inaccessible, then you have failed. My subjects come to wake me up as early as 7, and I get up to address them.
Wow, this is shocking to me, honestly.
Yes.
It's shocking to me because I grew up getting to know about the tradition of kings, you know, not waking up till a certain time, let's say 10 o'clock, and, you know, one not being able to see the king until after about 6 o'clock or thereabout. But this is quite strange to me.
Well, Royal Majesty. Like I started.
Yes.
The star is the man.
Wow, I love that. I love that. Now, in a final note, Your Royal Majesty, going back to the beginning of this interview where we talked about your grass experience and your academic pedigree and everything, your general experience in life, you know, in what way has these experiences affected your kingship in area by way of development and all that? In what would you say it has really affected positively? And in what way?
It does. I've always said that it's good to talk,
okay,
but it's better to walk the talk.
Of course.
So I walk the talk. I brought you here to teach my people.
Yes.
On entrepreneurship. Well, even before that, we were talking about change. We're talking about change. That where we are now, we needed some education to transform our mind, to regenerate new values, values that are consistent with today's developmental requirements. So I did all the talking. You did entrepreneurship. I brought in a lot of people to teach my people on so many things.
Including Dr. Charles.
Including Dr.
Yes,
Charles.
I recall.
And it is on record that this kingdom is the first kingdom to organize an economic summit. Even before the state organized its own economic summit. Why did I do that? It's to expose this kingdom to the potential that it has to the outside public. So that they can be encouraged to come in here and invest.
Wow.
And that has been successful.
Wow.
Today we have one of the largest fish farms in Delta State right here in Efroto. Right here in Efroto, because of that program, we produce paints here. Because of that program, a lot of potential investors have come in. Because of that program, I, King Duku, wanted to set up a modular refinery for the kingdom. It's only when we started, upon examination, we know that it was very capital intensive. So we couldn't proceed. But because of the exposure of that concept, yes, a lot of people now developed interest. And as we speak, MPDC, with its associated companies, have earmarked a place in our land, already fenced, that they are going to establish modular refinery.
Wow, that's great. Your Royal Majesty, I also heard, I know that you acquired some sort of certificates abroad. So which university and how did it
Yes,
happen?
after University of Ibadan, before abroad, after University of Ibadan, I went to University of Lagos to read master's degree in political science, specializing in international relations.
Wow.
It's after that that I joined my uncle, Olurugu Michael Ibro, who is my mentor.
Wow.
While I was there, I was doing a marketing function. So at the time I went to meet Olurugu Michael Ibro, I said, I want to go back to school. He said, where so? You are overread. They take degree, they sell fish.
Okay, you were selling fish.
Fish, yes. He said, you are overread. You are very, no, don't forget. I said, no. I said, let me explain to you, sir. I said, ordinarily, I should be working in the embassy, but there's no vacancy there. I'm here with you now. I did not get this appointment because you find me intelligent. You didn't even interview me. The moment you heard that I'm your son, from your maternal angle, you gave instruction that I be employed and be deployed to Hebrew Seafoods.
Wow.
And that is the marketing function that I am performing today. But tomorrow, you may need my services in another area that requires good business education. Secondly, I do not want my promotion in future to be based on blood relationship.
Wow.
That it should be based on capacity. It should
Excellence.
be excellence, competence, not on blood relationship. That even if you are not there then, I don't want Oscar to consider me for promotion, for elevation, because we are cousins. So I need to go to school to study business. And that I was not going to study business in Nigeria. He said, no, but you know that I need you all the time. I said, it won't be too long, 2 years. He said, so what are you really asking for? I said, I'm asking for study leave with pay. So under the supervision of S.J. Okudu, former registrar of my university, University of Ibadan, the thing was processed and it was approved, and I went to England. I went to the University of Aston in Birmingham.
Wow.
Studied at the Management Center, number 5 in the whole country, in terms of quality and capacity.
Wow.
Where I obtained my MBA, Master's Business Administration, specializing in marketing.
Wow, that's quite intimidating. You have an intimidating academic history, you know, and kudos to the people of this wonderful kingdom. But Your Royal Majesty, in quite a short period of time since your coronation as the king, so much has happened. You know, as in some years back, Efroto, a lot of people do not actually know about Efroto. But today, people, you know, Efroto has been, you know, popularized to the extent that it has been placed in a global point of view, that a whole lot of people now know about this kingdom today. How did you make it happen?
The finger of the Lord has been upon me. You see, what you desire from God is what you get. After my coronation in the Founders Hall, my pastors, all of them, over 10 of them, consecrated my kingship. Wow. Anointed me with oil in the presence of everybody. And I declared that this kingship is for God. And since then, God took over. Wow. God is the one doing the driving. We just sit down and relax. Wow. God is just using people to help us.
Okay. But besides that, Your Royal Majesty, you know, I belong to a school of thought that, you know, God does not come down to help people, you know, and there's also a saying that heaven help those who help themselves. So I believe in some way, you know, there are certain things you must have been doing, or you are doing rather, that would have culminated in this kind of results. So people want to know about some of these things practically, realistically. I know you are into a lot of things.
When you are in a position as this, and you are able to distinguish your personal needs from the needs of your kingdom, from the needs of your people, it is very, very important. I have never, until recently, made a request from the state governor for any form of personal assistance. And I don't do it to the other politicians too.
Wow.
If you see me begging, I'm begging for my kingdom. If you see me making requests, I'm requesting for my kingdom.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
So when you are not burdened,
yes.
when people in authority are not burdened with your personal petty request, I won't go London, I won't go watch football, I won't go see my daughter for Jonda. The people become overburdened with your trivial request. And so when you want to make an important request, they're already overburdened. They don't listen.
Of course.
They don't listen. The request for this bridge is the only request I have ever made to His Excellency Governor Okowa.
Wow.
And I promise myself that until this bridge is complete, I will not make any other request on His Excellency Governor Okowa. Because like I said, other people have needs.
Of course.
He has addressed my basic infrastructural deficit that has been existing over 40 years. For that, I should be grateful to him and be grateful to God.
Wow, that was actually a strategic step you took.
Yes, and then I also have other politicians, even across political divides.
Wow.
So I use them. I appeal to them. Because as it were, we are purely apolitical.
Okay.
I'm neither PDP nor APC. I'm a friend to government.
Wow.
I'm a friend to the state government. I'm a friend to the federal government.
And any political party could actually take over the government. So you're a friend to government, not
I'm
a friend to political parties.
I'm a friend to government.
Yeah.
As long as Governor Okowa is there, whatever he wishes that I do, I will do.
Okay. Are you trying to say even to the detriment of your subjects or your people? Whatever he says you will do.
He will never make such request on the king.
Okay.
Governor Okowa will never make such a request on the king.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Your Royal Majesty, we're going to come a bit into 2023, just a little bit into it. But before that, wow! Thank you so much, Your Royal Majesty. It has been an awesome time with King Dr. Johnson Duku II, the Orobore of Efroto Kingdom. We've been, discussing with him in this wonderful time out with Marcus Ekure. If you've been watching us, I guess you've enjoyed the moment with him. You have the comment section there. You can drop your lovely comments, no insults. It's been time out with royalty all along. We'll be bringing you more interesting interviews and stories in our subsequent editions. Thank you very much for staying tuned to us. Keep flying and remain blessed. See your friend, Marcus Ekure. Bye for now.